did. I was talking to one of my good friends from university. I took mechanical engineering as well as one of the guys I lived with, Alexis Gantus. And so I was talking to him more specifically to see kind of what his dad was thinking about all this. And he started telling me it's just as simple. He's looking for a machine that just pumps an ambu bag or kind of a resuscitator bag. So as he was talking to me and explaining this, I was like, you know what? This is something that Innovative can do so easily. We're set up. We got the engineering. We got the manufacturing to do this and the suppliers. So I had a call that afternoon with the president of Innovative, Steve Loftus, myself, and Dr. Gantus, and we kind of went through the scope of what it would be. And he set me up with a call with a respiratory specialist. His name was Dr. Robert Cerrone at St. Joseph's. So he's actually the doctor on the front lines dealing with COVID-19 patients right now. So from there, we came up with a quick preliminary design, me and a couple other co-workers, and we started 3D printing those parts. And I kind of came into work not really knowing how far this would go, and I talked to Steve Loftus, the president. He's like, yeah, just take this and run with it, and let's see if we can actually get a working prototype. And then I think it was the following Wednesday, we had a machined version with some 3D printed parts, and actually had a shell around this, and it was working. It was functioning pretty well. And then we got the end of that week, we had some actual nurses or RTs come in from RVH, and they brought in a fake lung for us to test, and the machine actually spit out some pretty good values that were fairly realistic. And then all this week, we've just been refining that design, adding a bit of controls to it, buttons, potentiometers, so that we can one, change the breaths per minute that this machine pumps the bag at, and also the amount of volume of air that actually the machine spits out. And we're in the process right now of just refining that to kind of a final prototype. We were trying to gain knowledge on this and see how people use it daily, the ambu bags. And a perfect example of that is we learned that in ambulances, there's usually 2 paramedics, and when they do have to use an ambu bag on a patient, it takes one of the paramedics away from doing tasks. So if they had a machine like this, they could put this, it's small, it's about the size of a laptop and kind of the length and width, and then maybe 10 or 12 inches tall. So you could easily fit that in an ambulance, and then that means that one paramedic could take 2 minutes to set this up on a patient if they're experienced with it, and then that frees up 2 paramedics on the drive in to the hospital. So we are kind of thinking about the, after this pandemic, what other uses this can serve. It's actually pretty exciting that we're in talks right now with the government of Canada. There's kind of the potential that this machine could get off the ground and actually save someone's life, which is pretty special. Alexis, my friend, he texted me a couple of weeks ago and said, would you have thought even a month ago that you'd be working with the chief of ICU and chief of NSC at St. Joseph's? And I was like, no, that's crazy. Like, I wouldn't think that, I'd ever be working on a project, of this magnitude with your dad. Like, it's so cool. And then it hit me I think it was Friday, I was leaving work, and it was, we had a pretty busy week, long hours working on this, and it's something you're passionate about, so you're really putting all your time into it. And I remember driving home Friday after work and thinking, like, wow, like, this could actually save someone's life one day. And it's wild. It's so different from what we do here daily, but like I said, it's special.